outline on the trunks, coached by Jamal Jackson. Tap has been conducted, and we are already underway. Wildcats fourth in the East, finished 7-19 overall and 6-11 in the SIAC. Thoroughbreds come in fifth in the West. They are 9-14 overall and 7-11 in conference play. Glad that you could join us as the Eskridge gets the first basket of the ball game for the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Charles Ward alongside Gatti Warima for the play call. And Gatti, things already underway, but teams, you talked to both of these coaches before the ball game. What'd you come away with?
Oh, yes. For Fort Valley, we have some keys to the game, and those are simply play good, limit possessions, as well as make shots. All these coaches want these teams to have fun out here, but these are the main keys of the game. As far as Kentucky State, play hard for every possession, limit penetration, rebound, and then boxing out. They really want them to dominate the 50-50 ball.
Out front, this is Kong, the junior from Emporia State University that transferred into Kentucky State with their first basket of the ball game. Kong, 10 points per ball game on the regular season, 4.8 rebounds, had a total of 44 assists, along with 27 steals. We go back the other way now. Again, Kong, same result. Back-to-back three-pointers by Kong.
Just really beautiful, has that touch on that three-point shot. You really wouldn't think that he can knock down those shots so effortlessly because of his height, but he's a true guard, and they got to get out there and put a hand up.
Inside the paint, back the other way. Quincy Young with the rolling hook shot. That one's off the mark. Rebound fought for, comes clear to Tyreek Johnson. Johnson inside the paint. He cannot convert. And out front again, another basket by Kong. R.J. Murrell this time, the junior with the basket.
Hey, it's a three-party. The players to watch are number 2, Jacobs, 41, Andrews, and then 14, Morrell. And Morrell just showed us why he's one of the players to watch, can knock down that three effortlessly.
Thoroughbreds 30% shooting from behind the arc in the regular season, but have already converted their first three-point offerings in this ball game. Whistle back the other way as Pierre Mitchell, the sophomore for Fort Valley, penetrates the paint, and he was knocked to the surface. So Morrell guilty of that foul, and that'll put Mitchell at the line shooting. 68% free throw shooter from Mitchell during the course of the regular season. No, they'll waive it off, won't be a shooting foul. It'll be left of the cylinder. KJ Doucette, the SIAC Freshman of the Year, inbounds the basketball. Gets it back with the jumper, and he knocks it down. It's going to be important for Doucette to get off early in this ball game for the Wildcats. Hit his first shot there.
Exactly. Great execution. Missed the first, hit the second one, but high energy right now.
So back the other way. Wildcats trailing it. Stutter step and the jumper. Shots off the mark by Mitchell. Clearing it for the Thoroughbreds was Montrell Jacobs, the junior. Jacobs left side to the rack, he missed. For Fort Valley, Tyreek Johnson, KJ Doucette, Pierre Mitchell, and Keaton Estridge, and Quincy Young, the 5 starters for Coach Robinson. For the Thoroughbreds in that defensive set, Montrell Jacobs, Jay Morrell, Kong, Tyson Brooks, and Jalen Andrews, the first 5 out of the gate for the Thoroughbreds.
And that's a beautiful hook shot by Quincy Young. Wasn't really on the block, but has that extended mid-range game.
Take away by the Wildcats now. Aaron pass from the Thoroughbreds. Quickly back the other way to the rack, left side. Johnson left it short. The Thoroughbreds want to run. No look on the inside. Pass rejected inside, but it comes back to the Thoroughbreds. Out front with another jumper. This will be Jalen Andrews. Getting into the three-party.
It's a three-party. Look, these guys did not come to play. Thoroughbreds are shooting very well from the three-point line. The majority of their shots are here. They have to get a hand up, hand down, man down. But it's really important to guard the three early and not get that momentum and confidence in this first half.
Doucette handles left side now. Slides, raises, missed on the shot. Thoroughbreds quickly back the other way. Kong with the head fake to the rack. Will it fall? Fortune Event Center at the line for the Thoroughbreds. Kong, the junior. He'll be shooting. Missed on the first of 2. 70% free throw shooter for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Average 10 points per ball game, 4.8 rebounds, 19 blocks on the season for Kong Kong. He goes 1 of 2 from the line for the Thoroughbreds.
And you mentioned he averages 10 points, but he already has 7 points. Off to a good start. The Kentucky State Thoroughbreds shooting 80% from the three-point line. Just really impressive.
They have the 13-7 lead as a result. Doucette misses on a jumper behind the arc for the Wildcats. Teams played once during the regular season. Thoroughbreds won that ball game at Fort Valley, 76-72, but that was back in November of 2021. On the weave, this is Jacob. Stops, pops, and he missed on the jumper. Fort Valley back the other way with the basketball. At the block, Jones works his way in, pushes that hook shot to the cylinder, but he shot it a bit too hard, and the rebound to the Thoroughbreds. Kong Kong working right side, nice head fake with the jumper, left it short.
Showing off his handles there.
Yeah, I was about to say, kind of letting him run the floor now at this point.
Exactly. 6'6", with handles of a, well, he is a guard on this team, but yeah, just a real leader, energy-wise, point-wise. There are a lot of players on this Thoroughbred team that can score. You got Montrell Jacobs averaging 17 points, Andrews at 10, and Kong Kong at 10. So really limiting their touches will be key for the Wildcats.
On a spin now, this is Andrews with the jumper beyond the foul line, and he knocks it down for the Thoroughbreds.
And we just talked about that. These guys are really able to create shots for themselves, so being proactive, getting your hands up is key.
15-7 lead for Kentucky State. Wildcats with the basketball. Jones, right-handed hook at the baseline, and he got it to fall. Or Young, that is, with the basket.
He's really good at that hook around the basket. They're going to have to put a body on him.
Out front with the three-point offering. It's off the mark by Jacobs for the Thoroughbreds. Panthers with the basketball, trailing 15-9. Floater left side in the cylinder and came out of there. Tough break by Estridge there.
There were no Fort Valley players underneath that basket. If they have to rebound and try to get some second chance opportunities.
Whistles. Morrell is going to be hit for that foul. I think that's going to be Morrell's second personal in this first half of play. 13:28 remains first half. Second of 5 ball games coming your way on ESPN Plus today from Rock Hill Sports and Event Center in Rock Hill, South Carolina. 2022 SIAC basketball tournament, men's and women's action. The women coming your way next with LeMoyne on and Fort Valley tying it up. Fort Valley's men on the floor right now, trailing the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Pushing left side to the rack with the lay-in is Mitchell.
That's great patience to see the offense really develop there, and that's Mitchell, a D1 transfer guard.
Jacobs answers back on the other end for the Thoroughbreds. Boy, you talk about those weapons. We're seeing them on display so far, Gotti, for the Thoroughbreds.
Exactly. They have many tools in their bag. So, yeah, you got to D up. But exciting match for sure.
6-point lead for Kentucky State. Thoroughbreds with the basketball. This is Mitchell, the sophomore from Detroit, handling. On a weave, Jamal Reynolds, a sophomore, just out on the floor for Coach Montez Robinson. 8 to shoot, inside, working his way toward the rack, and clearing finally. Estridge, the junior, got the basket.
And he knocked that down among the trees, but he held his position and followed through.
Sure did, just kept looking for space and got it. And behind the arc, another three-pointer. This one by Jacobs for the Thoroughbreds.
That was sweet. Has 149 three-pointers on the season, shooting at 38%.
Leads the team from behind the arc. Half, Thoroughbreds with a 20-13 lead. The real key to that lead, Gotti, for them is quite simple, what they've done behind the arc so far.
Yeah, certainly, and their ability to share the ball. They have 7 assists already, but just being so aggressive, even on the penetration, where they're shooting threes and knocking them down, but then being versatile and penetrating strong and drawing those fouls.
Elijah Lockhart, the junior, will be going to the line for the Thoroughbreds. His first spot of duty for Coach Jamal Jackson. Lockhart, the junior from right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Transferred from local college here, Limestone College. And misses on the first free throw. 64% from the line for Lockhart. Just under 6 points per ball game for him, and just under 3 rebounds per outing for the junior. Missed them both from the line. Basketball tapped around, and it will belong to the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Wildcats got to be thinking, yeah, let's just keep weathering this storm. Surely they have to cool at some point on the three-point shots, just trying to stay within striking distance. Right now they trail by 7 with 11:33 left first half. Shot clock working its way to 10. Wildcats still away from the basket. Now to 6 to shoot. Hard penetration to the rack with the left-hand floater. Didn't draw iron, but the rebound over to the Thoroughbreds. They come quickly up floor. Behind the back pass in the corner. Jacobs for 3, and he got it. Ooh. What a pass from Kong, and what a finish by Jacobs.
Man, beautiful sequence. You could tell they're having fun, and that's one thing Coach wanted them to do, and they're doing just that. It feels so much better when you knock it down, too.
Yeah, makes the highlight reel.
Exactly.
23-15. Thoroughbreds extend their lead. Kong really displaying a lot of skill on the floor there with that behind-the-back pass. So not only able to shoot the ball, but they're giving it up freely in the corner. Largest lead of the ball game now for the Thoroughbreds is 10. Foul on extended jumper missed by Tyreek Johnson, and over to the Thoroughbreds.
The Thoroughbreds are putting intense defense on the Wildcats, just really not letting up. In fact, they're stretching that defense just to, the Wildcats are stretching that defense to try to slow down the Thoroughbreds.
Josh Wilkerson, the redshirt sophomore, out on the floor now for the Thoroughbreds. Over the Kong in the corner. Andrews for 3. Remmers off the mark. Fought for. Basketball to Fort Valley. Good battle on the inside that time between Lockhart and Joe Williams for the Wildcats. Mitchell out front. Tyler Pendergrass on the floor. He had a touch. Now over to Doucette. 10 to shoot for Fort Valley. On the weave, all the way through to the rack. Mitchell too hard on the lay-in, but a reset as they got the rebound. So second chance opportunity for Fort Valley. Doucette works off the screen, but he's picked up and doubled. Got a shot up, and he's fouled. So Doucette.
I know there's some frustration coming off of the Thoroughbreds bench because Lockhart, looking at the ref, saying he had his hand straight up as we'll see here. There was contact right there. But, yeah, great defense. They really put the pressure on them and made the Wildcats play until the final seconds of the game. But Doucette, with his skill, was able to draw that foul and now has 3 free throws.
Lockhart kind of raising his hands, reminding me of that commercial. God said it must have been somebody else because it wasn't me.
I know that's right.
The replay showed it was Lockhart that time with the body. So Doucette to the line to shoot. Got the first, and he hits the second as well. They have quieted Doucette some here this first half. The Thoroughbreds have, recognizing, because they've doubled him a couple of times in the half-court offensive set, recognizing that they want to get him to keep him out of rhythm as much as possible.
And that's smart. He's the team leader, shooting 77% from the field, from the free throw line, averaging 14 points per game as a freshman, killing it.
Kong, speaking of killing it, he's been killing it from behind the arc for the Thoroughbreds early in this basketball game. He will inbound it for KSU. Wilkerson behind the arc. This is Jacobs. 9 to shoot. He'll raise, fires with a three-pointer. Front of the iron. Basketball's loose on the floor. Doucette clears quickly up the floor now. Pendergrass. Jumper is off the mark. For the rebound, backside comes to Joe Williams. As Doucette fires a long-range three. Got some contact with the body. Knocked down the triple, but no foul.
Great way to stay in his shot and knock that down, because that certainly was a foul.
A lot of contact out there. Andrews leans back with the jumper on Joe Williams and knocks it down for the Thoroughbreds.
Andrews just makes it look so easy. I mean, if I was him, if that was the Wildcats, I'd be putting a lot more pressure, because it's obvious that his mid-range game is strong. He's just so comfortable shooting 15-foot and out.
Mitchell misses on a jumper there. Basketball's loose. Thoroughbreds lose it, chasing it down for the Wildcats. To the rack left side is Eskridge. And he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Not a smart foul right there. Just when you have that situation and you're behind the player, you have to be extra careful. As a coach, I think I'd rather let the shot go than get your second foul this early.
Yeah, Lockhart trying to catch up with that play and caught up right behind Eskridge, who's already in front of him. And you can see the contact at the lower half.
And Eskridge was expecting that contact. He actually waited for him in the air. Very smart player. You got to be a smart defender as well.
So he will be shooting. His team, the Wildcats, trailing 25-18 to the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Eskridge good on the first of two. Shamon Mosley out on the floor now for the Thoroughbreds. And Tyson Brooks back out for KSU as well. Earlier men's action opening round. Clark Atlanta advancing to the second round of the playoffs tomorrow at 12 with a win this morning, 79-64 over the Marauders of Central State. So day one of the tournament, we've already seen our first ball game. 3 more coming your way after this contest. So a full day of work ahead for you, Gotti Rima.
I'm here for it.
This is Andrews behind the arc, on the weave. Wilkerson now. Back over to Kong, shovel pass to Andrews. Doucette guarding, 10 to shoot. Here's the matchup. Andrews falls back with the jumper. Good defensive effort by Doucette. May have partially deflected that shot.
Yeah, Doucette's a freshman, but he's 6'6". He's like, you're not going to get it over me that easy.
James Pelham on the floor. He handles for the Wildcats. Left side all the way through the rack. The left-handed good by Pelham.
Great skill and patience as Pelham has that strong penetration in the middle.
Kong lost it at the line to shoot for KSU. Kong 2 of 3 from the floor. Those 2 are 3-pointers that he's converted. 2 rebounds. He's also got 4 assists in this first half of play.
The Thoroughbreds sharing the ball pretty well already, have 9 assists. to Fort Valley's 4.
Kong missed them both from the line that trip for Kentucky State. So the Wildcats can tie with a 3 or cut it to 1 with a field goal. Doucette, foul line extended, got some space and rattled it good for Fort Valley. Starting to come on, now he's got 10 in the ball game.
Yeah, and where he leads, his team follows, so he's setting a really good example right now.
Andrews in the paint, Doucette. I don't know if they have a drama department down at Fort Valley, but he sold that one well inside the paint.
Yeah, I don't know if that would fly in the NBA, but he got it right now, so.
Take a look at that replay. Battling for that position on the inside. Andrews a little bit bigger in terms of the upper body on Doucette. But Doucette able to sail the contact on the inside. So Fort Valley still trailing by 3 now. This is Reynolds on the move. He's tied up and they'll get him for the travel violation. That turnover will give the basketball back over to the Thoroughbreds. We'll see the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State in action later today in our finale at 7 o'clock. Well, they will meet the Panthers of Clark Atlanta.
The Wildcats turning up the defensive intensity and was able to get that defensive rebound.
Doucette that time in the paint, left it short. Under 6 left now, first half. Lead behind, free with space. The jump shot is off by Brooks. So the freshman not able to knock that down. He was free in space inside the paint.
Yeah, we talked about a little earlier how a lot of these teams did not get a chance to come in and get a shoot around or get a practice in the gym. So there is going to be an adjustment with their shots, and we're seeing a lot of that.
Inside the paint, you saw Pelham with a little crip shot there from about 3 feet away. He shot it hard.
With the depth perception, the lighting, and the floor being different, of course you have to adjust throughout the season as you go to different gyms and home games, but here in the conference tournament, these things matter, especially when you have multiple games here.
Wildcats going with some wholesale substitutions now as Johnson makes it back out on the floor. Mitchell coming back as well as Eskridge for the Wildcats. Doucette takes a seat as Jacobs handles in the backcourt for Kentucky State. On the weave, it's Mosley to the rack all the way through, and he missed on the lay-in, but he drew a whistle.
Great, strong penetration by Mosley to make sure that he got real deep in the paint. He missed that chipper, but the effort got him the foul.
So he'll be shooting from the line. Spinners off the mark for Mosley, the junior from Bristol, Florida. And out on the floor for Coach Jackson and the Thoroughbreds now. For his first spot of duty is Masamba Diem, the sophomore. Played at Tallahassee Community College. He's from Dakar, Senegal, and playing for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. 26-24 lead. Out front with the jumper, another hard attempt there by the Wildcats. That's off the mark. This time Jamarcus Scott missing. On the move, Jacobs inside the paint. He has not missed very often in this first half. Missed there, but a good one-handed putback by Brooks inside the paint for Kentucky State.
That was some incredible strength by Tyson Brooks. That is a really hard shot to shoot. That came down from like his waist area to finish with the layup. Good follow and being a good teammate.
4:22 left first half. Floater going hard to the floor was Mitchell. No call. Shot fell off. So the lead remains 4 for KSU. Out front, the spinner on the three-point effort is off the mark by Jacobs. Under 4 minutes remaining here in this first half of play. Thoroughbreds, after the Wildcats got the first point of the ball game, they have led since then. Lead behind. Nicely done by the travel violation as they worked it inside to Young. Young trying to find a little more space on the inside. Took one too many steps, and they got him for the travel. 3:34 remains in this first half of play. Opening round action here from the SIAC basketball tournament. 28-24, Thoroughbreds lead back after the timeout. 3 remains, first half action here. Men's action from the SIAC tournament. Thoroughbreds with a 28-24 lead. Jumper, foul line extended, left on the cylinder, but with the forward roll, Mosley's good for the Thoroughbreds.
Just a smooth player. He crossed over behind the back and just got him a nice 15-footer.
Eskridge on a lead behind, able to hit it from the foul line for the Wildcats. At the rim, shot fell off for KSU. And this time Eskridge behind the arc knocks down the three-pointer.
Yeah, Estridge just an incredible shooter. He missed the 15-footer, but he was able to come back and respond with a 3. That's good that he didn't give up on that, but when you're a shooter, you shoot.
Yeah, don't give up. So the 3-point lead for Kentucky State. Out front with the triple there is Wilkerson. The redshirt sophomore is off the mark. And a rebound comes to the Wildcats. Penetration right side, spinning inside the paint to the rack. The bank shot goes Johnson for Fort Valley. And the lead now with 2:10 remaining in the first half is down to 2 for the Thoroughbreds. Out front with the jumper, Mosley, front of the iron. Chance to tie for Fort Valley. Doucette cleared. And right side and slipping down on the surface was Mitchell on penetration.
Doucette coming down. Mitchell penetrating to the middle, seeing the opening, changes gears. I really like the way he changes pace. They got caught up right there. It could have been a foul, but hey, live to penetrate another day.
Inside, nice spin to the rack, but the shot's off the mark. But there with the flush for the Wildcats is Young. Good move on the inside by Johnson with the reverse.
Exactly, and Young right there to clean it up.
With authority. That ties the game at 30. Kong thought about the 3. Now Andrews at the block instead. Missed on the left-hand shot from the wing.
Yeah, Doucette got a piece of that.
Fort Valley with a chance to inch ahead here. 1:20 remains, first half. Estridge with the jumper, front of the iron. Kong comes away with another rebound. He handles up top for 3, got it. Did the job on the defensive end to start that break with the rebound, and a nice finish from behind the arc.
Man, you could tell the way that he looked at Johnson that he was about to knock that down. He had full momentum going into that shot, just knocked it down, looked so pretty.
That's his third three-pointer of this first half. Enables the Thoroughbreds to keep that lead at 33-30. Trying to answer his, and he does, is KJ Doucette, freshman of the year for the SIAC.
Doucette said, I got one too. First player in double digits going into the half with 13 points. Kong in double digits as well.
We are tied at 33. Nice dribble. Stopping pops off the mark. Rebound stripped away from the inside. Brooks had it, and the Wildcats took it away. So they will have the final shot of this first half. With that will be far side of the floor to inbound it for the Wildcats. We'll see if this final play involves him. Handling the basketball out front is Mitchell. Doucette's down in the corner now with 5 left on the shot clock. Estridge from out front. The rimmer is off the mark. Rebound. Put back. Won't fall. Will play on Wednesday against the #1 team out of the West, the Golden Bears of Miles College. See which one of these teams get to continue their season. Thoroughbreds have it on their end of the floor. Morrell handles behind the arc. Andrews with a touch. Now the Kong. Cross dribble on Doucette. Had it taken away. Good defensive effort there by Mitchell coming in backside. Down inside the paint. Give nicely to Quincy Young for the lay-in. So Mitchell doing a great job both ends of the floor there, anticipating and swiping it from Kong. And then setting up Quincy Young for the lay-in right side. And the Wildcats lead the Thoroughbreds.
And great crash to the basket. As a guard, you want your bigs to be on one page with you, and Quincy was doing just that.
Down in the corner, Morrell trying to get an early start, traveled with the basketball. Turnover number 6 for the Thoroughbreds. Take a look at the pass across the floor, and there's the stutter step by Morrell for the infraction.
Yeah.
Mitchell again inside the paint, creates the contact, and he draws a foul. Tyson Brooks, the freshman. Arundel, Maryland, trying to catch up with the quick Mitchell on that play.
And Mitchell was just so tough. We see a lot of that first half just penetrating, and he didn't always get the call, but that does not stop him from going hard to the basket.
Mitchell converts on the first free throw for the Wildcats. So Fort Valley with the 3-point lead. Now to 4 as Mitchell got them both from the line.
He's a 69% free throw shooter. Second most free throws on the team.
Perfect on the afternoon for the Wildcats. Hitting those 2. Behind the arc with the jumper, rattled good from way downtown by Montrell Jacobs.
No, Jacobs is just so impressive. He takes his time. It almost looks like he doesn't have the momentum, but he's just like sitting there like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hand down, man down. I like you.
3 of 8 from behind the arc for Jacobs. Trying to answer is Mitchell for Fort Valley. He missed on his shot, but there's Johnson left side with a putback for the Wildcats.
Man, Johnson is a ball hawk. He just goes after the rebounds. Only has about 5 right now, but he crashes the boards. A really good teammate in that way.
Hard push by Kong. Leans back and missed on the lay-in. Fort Valley back the other way with the 3-point lead. Doucette floater in the paint. That one's off the mark. He fights for it and clears for Fort Valley. Another look down at the block. Young lost it in the air, got his own rebound, got the putback, and he drew the foul.
Kudos to the Wildcats for not giving up on that possession. It took them 3 tries, but they were able to knock it down. The dunk was missed, but you see Doucette out there with the hustle to finish with some finesse.
It was Doucette on that basket. Young missed on the lay-in, lost it in the air, and Doucette able to collect it and get the lay-in.
And these are freshmen going to work. They still have a lot of time left to ball out.
Doucette on the 3-point play with the free throw. A staple in Middle Georgia for a while. Banked to the glass left side by Andrews. He has such soft hands for the Thoroughbreds. Doucette out front for the Wildcats now. Johnson up top to Young. On the weave. Estridge now back out Doucette. Missed on the shot, but there he is again. Johnson with a rebound and a putback for Fort Valley. This time cannot convert. Jacobs behind the arc, got some space. Shot partially blocked. Good defensive work by the Wildcats. Johnson got a piece of that basketball. Erskine left side with the left hand lay-in. Rattled it hard and good.
That's some strength and that's some skill right there. But one adjustment that I noticed from the Wildcats is they've push that defense up. They're making sure to guard that three-point line no matter what.
Good job by Estridge last time down the floor with the lay-in. Let's take a look at it on the replay. Full throttle there with enough body control to bank it in, laying it up left side.
Hey, he make it look easy, but that is a difficult maneuver right there.
Fort Valley with a 44-38 lead. Trying to add to that as they work the weave out front. Shot clock now to 10. Mitchell out front, Doucette free, fires a three, front of the iron, he missed it. Chased around, Estridge and Morrell collide. And it goes out of bounds, and the basketball will belong, I believe, to the Wildcats of Fort Valley.
Doucette missed the last 2 threes, but he doesn't miss many shots. He started off cold at the beginning of the last quarter, but then he wound up going for double figures. The Thoroughbreds are laying off, kind of playing off of the three-point line, daring the Wildcats to make some threes. That's a risky move, but so far it's been working.
Young bumping against the defense, 15:52 left in it. And at the line, trying to add to it, is the freshman Quincy Young. Young missed on the first free throw. Wildcats now 8 of 10 from the free throw line after the miss from Young.
He hasn't shot many free throws this season, only about 18, but he's 61% for the season.
And certainly that's an area that you want to see that increase, because the more they work that basketball inside to him, you want him to become a critical part of that offense. And part of that indicates is that if he's going to the line, he's getting it done on the inside. Got 1 of 2 from the line, 45-38, Wildcats with the lead. Jacobs inside the paint. Got a floater up there somehow to the cylinder and got it to fall.
And Jacob's skill level is just so impressive. Not only is he a great shooter, but he's able to create his own shots. Just an all-around amazing player.
13 on the afternoon for Jacobs. All the way through, trying to leave it underneath was Mitchell, but he missed on the shot. Rebound, chased and out of bounds, giving chase far side of the floor was Jay Morrell for the Thoroughbreds. Couldn't catch up with it.
And that was Mitchell who knocked it out and was able to deflect the ball and get that turnover in their favor.
Mitchell a bit disappointed on what he did going to the rack on that lay-in that he missed, but he just hustled right back in there defensively to cause the Wildcats to get that basketball back.
He got it back.
Coming back this time right side. Didn't get the lay-in, but this time he's rewarded. He'll go to the free throw line. Well, you get the sense that that's the calling card from Coach Montez Robinson with his marching orders to Pierre Mitchell. Take it inside the paint.
Man, he's just, like we mentioned earlier, just fearless. His ability to penetrate. I know he's going to need an ice bath or something after this game, but I have a feeling that he's very used to this.
Got that first free throw for the Wildcats. And what we saw on that play, that penetration by Mitchell there, was that the Thoroughbreds really kind of playing to prevent the shooters from the outside. Watch the end of this play now. When he goes down, then they're collapsing after that. So they're having to come back inside of the paint to catch up with Mitchell on the inside. And that's what Coach Robinson sees, and he wants to take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's just his court awareness is really high. His basketball IQ to just know where he is and the defender is and where the gaps are for him.
Behind the arc, Andrews, he misses on a three-point shot. Good block out by Johnson at the sideline, and the basketball over to Fort Valley. Lead for Fort Valley now is 7 points. Josh Wilkerson inserted into that Thoroughbred lineup to try to counteract what we were just talking about, the speed of Mitchell penetrating to the inside. But the Thoroughbred's going to drop back into a 2-3 zone, and the Wildcats make them pay for it with Young right side of the cylinder with the basket.
Man, that hook, that mid-range hook that he does, that is a dangerous shot. Not only is it hard to shoot and make, but it's hard to guard.
Whistles before the three-point shot by Wilkerson. I think they called that on Brooks. So that'll be his third, or I'm trying to take a look at Mitchell at the sideline. Looks like he's got a scratch maybe on his right elbow, maybe some blood there, so they're trying to clean that up with the blood protocol. They'll wrap him as Doucette gets set to inbound the basketball.
Mitchell says, I'm good. Don't take me out, coach. Just wrap me up real quick.
Put me in back. Put me back in, coach.
I know that's right. That's how I was as a player. Look, I don't want to come out unless I absolutely have to.
Sure. That's at the block. Young leans back with the jumper. Not sure what he saw there. Maybe a shot clock running down on him, but he did get that ball airborne. And it didn't make any contact, so over to the Thoroughbreds. And out front is Jacobs firing a long three, and he missed on the shot. We go down to 13:35 left in this basketball game. Eskridge way away from the basket with 10 to shoot for Fort Valley.
Wildcats taking advantage of this lead that they have, running some time off the clock, trying to get just some great production as much as possible on the penetration, but weren't able to connect.
Thoroughbreds back the other way, firing a three, that one front of the iron by Jacobs. Doucette hit at the sideline, he's fouled. Jacobs a bit upset about that three-point shot, trying to get back defensively, and he commits the foul.
Yeah, that's a frustration foul there. You have to be careful. He has a couple of fouls to give, only 2 for the game, but he's too important to this game, and you don't want this to come down to free throws at the end.
Mitchell handles out front for the Wildcats. Doucette, right block, hard push to the cylinder, whistle. The freshman from Austell, Georgia, really starting to assert himself in that Wildcat lineup. Went hard to the rack there, knew the foul would be coming, took the contact.
And that's a foul on Lockhart. Doucette doing a good job with a strong penetration. Ooh, that's a little tough. I think he got him a little bit. Again, Lockhart is frustrated, just like, what can I do? Hey, keep playing defense, all right? That's 3 for him in the second half, but his presence really matters on the court.
Doucette, first 2 takes the lead to an even 10 for the Wildcats. And Coach Jackson trying to get Joe Williams coming in for the Wildcats of Fort Valley. The freshman with a second of 2. Got them both. And he will take a seat after hitting those 2 free throws. 12:43 remains. The redshirt sophomore Josh Wilkerson handles. Down in the corner, Andrews turns with the jumper, missed on that shot. Eskridge had it, but he lost it. It comes to Kong Kong, and Kong Kong flushes for the Thoroughbreds.
Man, that hustle by Kong, and really that defense by Jacobs, that combination right there is just impeccable. Great way to knock that down. Not only is he a great three-point shooter, plays well, got handles, but can slam it down.
Here's a throwaway by the Wildcats back the other way, and the Thoroughbreds on that break, the pass led too far, so the Wildcats able to collect the basketball. Mitchell comes quickly. Only 14 to shoot for the Wildcats. Pushes way in the backcourt to Esrich with the basketball. Now Johnson across the floor. Esrich with a hard push. Left-hand shots off the mark. Andrews clears for the Thoroughbreds. Up the floor, challenging on the inside is Lockhart, and a whistle.
Great penetration by Lockhart. He's been a little frustrated this game, not really being able to get into his rhythm, but finally getting a clear path to the basket and going up strong and drawing that foul.
Joe Williams, a sophomore, trying to come in to cut him off, but he commits the foul, so Lockhart shooting here. Knocks down the first free throw. And Mitchell back out on the floor. So is Doucette for Coach Montez Robinson. So credit the training staff of Fort Valley. Had to work with that elbow bleed and did a fine job of getting him patched up and back out on the floor. I think he was bleeding pretty profusely when he was over there at the sideline. Second free throw, Lockhart, same as the first, got them both. (51-44), Fort Valley with the basketball and the lead. Esrich guarded by Kong. Now Williams. 9 to shoot for Fort Valley. Johnson behind the arc left side. Raises, looks, spinners off the mark. Williams down low and a whistle. They'll call Williams for the push-off. So Williams trying to fight for that rebound to give the Wildcats a second chance at the basket, but he commits the foul instead.
Hey, I like the effort, but that's 2 quick fouls. He has to really watch it and take care, be a little more controlled on those opportunities.
Jacobs out front now. Good lead behind on the inside the Lockhart, but he can't finish. Opportunity there for the Thoroughbreds on a good little transition pass, but no basket. Williams, head fakes, got the spinner to fall. Good pass by Mitchell on the inside.
Good patience, because Kong was ready to send that to the stands, but yeah, he kept his composure and finished.
Nice head fake to get Kong airborne. At the block, whistles again. This time it will go in Lockhart's favor. Talk about the patience of Williams. Look at the little touch pass there by Mitchell. And big head fake, and rest of it's easy after you get Kong in there like that.
It's easy, but Lockhart came down and got a foul on the other end, so that's 3 quick fouls for him. A little frustrated, but he's still in the game.
Spinner in the right corner is off the mark by Jacobs. He's gone pretty cold here in the last few minutes for the Thoroughbreds. We approach 10 minutes left in the ball game. Mitchell lost his dribble, but got it over to Doucette. Hard push left side, shot partially blocked. Good defensive work by KSU, and they go back the other way. Good defend there inside by the Thoroughbreds. Doucette going to be guilty of a foul. Women's action to follow here on ESPN+. The Magicians of Lemoyne and the Wildcats of Fort Valley. So the Wildcats with back-to-back appearances, the men first and the women in our next contest. Doucette working at the block on Lockhart. Lockhart with that foul situation, not as aggressive defensively. They just could not afford to be. Doucette got that basket.
And that's really smart by the Wildcats to take it to him and also to get Doucette going, because he's been a little quiet, but he's still in double figures.
Throwaway on the Thoroughbred end of the floor. And the Wildcats come back the other way with the basketball. Lead is 11 now. Mitchell. It's been such a general for the Wildcats in this opening round ball game.
Wildcats continuing to be patient and let the game come to them since they're up. But just slowing the tempo of the game down to be a little more in control.
Thoroughbreds coming back the other way with the basketball now. 8:25 left in the contest. Lockhart on Doucette. Work toward the rack and a whistle. They call the foul on Williams on the backside of that play. Never even saw him in the, well, he steps in the frame now. Let's see. Might have raked him.
Okay,
Yeah.
he got a little bit of a little piece of that arm, but I think that's 4 fouls on him. That was a quick 4. He's really frustrated because he actually didn't need to get that foul, but these refs are watching and they're not letting anything slip by.
You were looking at it to come the way that I was like, how in the world did Joe Williams get called for that foul? Didn't even see him in the frame for a second there. But you see him trying to slide over for the backside help.
Yeah, I thought it was Johnson or Doucette, but yeah, at the very end, a little tippy tap. Got him caught up.
Free throw line, not favorable for the Thoroughbreds at the moment. Lockhart missing there. 8:16 left. Lead is 10 for Fort Valley. Doucette, freshman of the year. Foul line extended. Good defensive work there by Lockhart. Just a clean block by him. He'll go back the other way with the lay-in. On the cylinder, won't fall though. Man, oh man, good defensive work by Lockhart. Should have been rewarded with that easy basket. Not able to convert. So the lead remains 10 for Fort Valley. Johnson, quick step on Kong, but Kong there with him step for step. Now Young spins to the inside. Good step on the inside, but he followed with that elbow. They will retain the basketball though with 7:22 left. Alley-oop left side, trying to get it to Lockhart.
I don't know if that was the best decision, especially with Doucette's height and ability there. Kong just really took a chance. I think Brooks was even more open than he was, but the Thoroughbreds are just looking for a bucket right now.
Yeah. Doucette with only 2 fouls. Thought they may be trying to attack if he was in foul trouble with only 2. That's not the reason they went with that decision to try to alley-oop it in there. And whistles down low, and you finally leave the Thoroughbred end of the floor. They're going to come away with no points with a couple of opportunities that time. Andrews reports back out on the floor, and so does Jacobs for the Thoroughbreds. Mitchell all patched up now, works it right side. Bounce pass at the block. Doucette underneath. Good defensive work again by Lockhart. Doucette has to chase it down in the corner. They say he stepped on the inbound line. So Lockhart really starting to assert himself defensively, despite the fact that he's got those 3 personals. He's just knowing now that I can leave it out on the floor now. He's doing a better job on Doucette.
Exactly. Go hard or go home.
Yep.
Hey, look, you got to love the mentality. You got to love the effort.
Down to 6:39. Lead remains 10 for Fort Valley.
Kentucky State has got on the boards. Before they were being out-rebounded, but now only out-rebounded by 3.
They call the illegal screen by Lockhart down low. Boy, he just can't catch a break with the officials.
Man.
Doucette now facing some token pressure by the Thoroughbreds at the mid-stripe. Johnson surveys on the dribble, up top to Mitchell. Doucette on the weave. Lockhart catches up defensively. Now 9 to shoot. Head fake at the block, Young. One-on-one Andrews to the rack with the floater, off the mark. Had a look. And here comes Andrews in the thoroughbreds. All the way down at the block. Lockhart in duress at the rim. Missed on the shot. Wildcats collapsed on him at the right block.
Solid defense on both ends of the floor. Really taking away the scoring opportunity for both ends. Both teams really banging in the post, but not being able to connect.
10 to shoot. Doucette pushes through left side. Contact with he and Lockhart and a whistle.
Lockhart frustrated. That's his 5th foul. Has to go to the bench, but great awareness by Doucette. You know, they cleared the inside so that Doucette can take it to Lockhart, and there you see he had the isolation and went straight at him. There's nothing really Lockhart could have done except maybe totally back off, and you don't want to do that on Doucette. So smart play by Doucette and great game by Lockhart.
Yeah, they came right at him, knew he was in that foul trouble, and they got it into the hands of the freshman of the year.
Understood the assignment.
Sure. Play it as long as you can play it. Doucette hits the first from the line. Doucette with a game-high 21 now, along with 11 rebounds, so got the double-double. Fine performance by him in this opening round contest for the Wildcats. Lead up to 12. Andrews, hard push left side and a whistle. Doucette called for that foul. That'll send Jalen Andrews shooting for the Thoroughbreds. On the replay, Andrews spinning away from Doucette. And there with the hand, a shove in the back was Doucette after the pass into Andrews.
Yeah, the refs are calling this game really tight, especially in the second half. These guys are used to the aggressiveness, the intensity of it all, but they really have to be careful here.
It's Young up top, tried to bounce it in traffic, knocked away and out of bounds. It'll stay with Fort Valley, though.
Hey, that was a good thought. He just had to get that off a little faster in order to get the ball up.
You see it here. Just dicked away by Andrews, knocking it out of bounds. A good recognition by Young with the pass. Out front, Eskridge knocks down a triple for the Wildcats.
Eskridge has been hungry and itching for a shot, and he finally got it and delivered.
2 of 3 from behind the arc for Eskridge in this basketball game. .425 clock running here at the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center. Doucette down low, this time battling Masamba Dioum, the sophomore. And Dioum commits his first foul.
Mitchell with the shot, and Doucette went up strong. Yeah, he got him on the back.
Yeah, it's all about positioning a lot of the times when you're down inside the paint. That time the defender too far under the basket, allowing Doucette to take advantage of the floor. And he was first to get to the errant shot.
Exactly, so that's when fundamentals come into play. If you boxing out, you're not getting that foul.
Doucette missed on the first. He was perfect from the line prior to that one. One of 2. Make it a 61-45 lead now for Fort Valley. Closing in on an advance into the tournament. Lost on the penetration by Jacobs, but over to Andrews. Left side with the jumper, and he knocks it down.
But also forcing more turnovers and keeping their turnovers low. They're taking care of the ball, unlike that possession right there, but they have been taking care of the ball.
So they got a turnover there. They get it right back out to Jacobs, who fires a three, and he missed on it. Basketball is loose. The freshman Doucette just all over the top of Diehl and just took it away from him.
That was some hustle.
Johnson steps inside the three-point range and knocks down a two-pointer for the Wildcats.
I'm just impressed by Johnson's IQ. He's a really disciplined player on both ends of the floor, taking the best shots, getting in the good position, and just making his life easy by following his teammates and helping them out.
Look at him defensively here as Jacobs trying to find that range that he had early on, but he's coming up short on his last few efforts for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. No question of fatigue factoring into that in terms of the shorts coming up short.
For sure, and when you have fatigue like that, it's better to not do a fadeaway three-point shot, just stay in your shot, just be as mechanical as possible.
Kong got that free throw. Make it 63-49. Mitchell had it tapped from behind, but a whistle there as Mosley was trailing that play. And they will get him for the foul on Mitchell, working it right side. 3:18 remains. Don't know if they're going to take the media timeout. Maybe they just took it on that at the 4:05 mark. From the line, Mitchell got the first free throw. And Mitchell is true again from the line. Had 98 assists coming into this ball game for the Wildcats of Fort Valley, and really just capped them very well in this contest as Johnson gets the easy flush for the Wildcats. Turnover by the Thoroughbreds. And across the timeline with a whistle.
Wow. Technical foul on Andrews.
See if we can pick it up after this transition. They tried to swipe it from him there, and he lost the basketball.
I think he might have said something to Joe Williams that the ref didn't appreciate.
Yeah, they were jawing going back down the floor. Didn't appear to be any physical contact between them. But sometimes it doesn't have to be physical to be abusive.
Well said.
Mitchell at the line, got the technical, and we're under 3 minutes remaining. Impressive performance by Coach Montez Robinson's Wildcats of Fort Valley.
Certainly. At the onset of the game, that sort of looked like a push-off, but that foul was called on Shamon Mosley. At the onset of the game, you know, the Thoroughbreds completely had the momentum. They came out on fire, and when they went cold, they just were never able to really recover. Even in the second half, they really weren't able to find more creative ways to score, and the Wildcats were just on them defensively, and their defense fueled their offense. So, yeah, kudos to them.
Indeed. You think about that early start of the ball game, and then for Fort Valley to have it tied at the break really kind of fed them going into that second half. And right now they lead it 70-49. Three-point shot again by Jacobs out front. This time he was fouled on the effort. Johnson was the guilty Wildcat there on the foul. Probably not the best advised foul when you're ahead like that, and the opposition's kind of forced to just take three-pointers. Possibly a four-point play if Jacobs winds up making that three.
Yeah, there's been about 33 fouls in this game between both teams. And that definitely shakes up the momentum if you're trying to turn it around.
Yep. stifles your opportunities to do it. But you talked about this early in this ballgame. You survey that Wildcat roster, and not a senior on that roster for Fort Valley. So they are in a good position, assuming they finish well here inside the tournament, that they'll have a good battery of players down there for years to come. So Jacobs able to convert from that free throw line, and now the Wildcats with 2:42 remaining, trying to find a way to run this out with certainly no injuries, and just to take advantage of the clock and run it down as deep as they can before taking a shot. They're on their way to be back in SIAC tournament action on Wednesday when they'll meet the Golden Bears of Miles College, the #1 team in the West. To the rack and penetrating is Mitchell, so they did exactly what they wanted to do there. Gotti ran as much time off the shot clock as they could and then got the points.
Yeah, Mitchell's patience there, and it just kind of was wide open there for him. The thoroughbreds, I mean, yeah, the momentum is not in your favor, but turn up that defensive intensity.
I think they're going to call that one on Mitchell. Mitchell trying to free himself from that double coverage and commits a foul. Three-pointer in the corner. That one goes down in the cylinder and pops out for Mosley and the thoroughbreds. So the three-pointer giveth and the three-pointer taketh away for the thoroughbreds. It was full advantage for them behind the arc early on, but in that second half had some difficulty ringing them up. And Fort Valley able to get its full stride both offensively and defensively in that second half, and coming away now with a 72-51 lead.
Yeah, this game of basketball is 80% mental, and at the beginning of the game, we could see that. We could see the excitement being in the tournament, having an opportunity to move forward. But once you start feeling that heat and you see that you're down and you start getting in your head, things do turn around. And a lot of these shots, I think, are being missed because mentally, some players are just, in other plays. You have to be present and just be able to knock down those shots.
Just did not happen for the thoroughbreds down the stretch. Mitchell handles now. There's 90 seconds remaining in this opening round basketball game. He's free. Missed at the buzzer, but the rebound run down in the corner by Jacoby Coleman. And now timeout taken by Fort Valley. Paul Reynolds, a sophomore, out on the floor. James Pelham, he's a freshman. Inbounding the basketball far side of the floor is Tyler Pendergrass. He's a freshman. And so the Wildcats with Holston was set to come in. He's a redshirt freshman, so part of that young complement of players down at Fort Valley. Didn't get that shot off before the shot clock. So the young players with a chance to finish things up for Fort Valley in this first round of play. Three-point shot is off the mark. And Fort Valley is going to advance. And just surprised at what's close to being the final score in this ball game. It was so close throughout that first half and into much of the second half. For the Wildcats to come away with this sizable a margin is really a compliment to them settling into the type play that they wanted to dictate this game.
Exactly. Both teams came in at in the fifth position on the East and the West, and evenly matched up. But yes, the Wildcats just had that much more energy and that much more focus to execute their keys of the game.
There's 34 seconds left in this one. So the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State to finish up the season, 9-15 overall and 7-12 in SIAC play, to put on a wrap on the season for them. Coach Jamal Jackson's 6th campaign at Kentucky State. Kentucky State won the regular season contest with the Wildcats, but Fort Valley winning the one that counts most, and that's in this first round of the tournament. So out front, Pelham handles the basketball, and likely going to be a 20-point win for the Wildcats of Fort Valley over the Thoroughbreds. And now players just accepting the will of the clock. So the Wildcats of Fort Valley win it here in the first round, 73-53 over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. And they will advance to the quarterfinals on Wednesday, when they will meet the Golden Bears of Miles College.